Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Empower Your Passion. And today is a very special day because we've got Nevi, and Nevi is not only a well-known face to Icon South Africa as one of our top 10 finalists, but also become a really, really good friend to us. And also, and I think we can delve into it, she was on a show on Mnet, a cooking show. I'm not going to say anything about it yet, but I think maybe we'll be able to go into that when we get into our interview. And of course, we all know Ziki, my co-host and winner of Icon South Africa. Hi, Ziki.
Hi, Rebecca. How are you this morning?
I'm freezing.
I feel you. I've got the same thing going on here. I'm not allowing the cold to get to me at all.
And I think we're not lying about it either. Like we have to just showcase our authenticity because that's what the show is about anyway, right?
Yeah.
Hello, Nevi. Welcome.
Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Ziki.
Hi, Nevi.
How are you guys doing?
We're great. We're so excited to have a chat with you today. I think there's so much that I would love to ask and just hear from you. So I hope you're ready for that.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Neves. And I actually forgot to actually say that you are also an ambassador for Icon South Africa for 2022, which is a really important job. So thank you so much. There's a lot of women looking up to you at this very point in time, going to be watching the show, learning more about you, because of course they're going to want to get to know you this year. So that's a really important aspect to mention. So thanks, Nevi, for that. And yeah. Pleasure.
Really
How are you? Z? Nevs?
I'm great. I mean, post the whole traumatic era of COVID, we're back at work, doing the miles, getting back out there, rebuilding a team. So yeah, but we're good. Everything looks optimistic, and I'm really encouraged by everything that's going on.
Sure, yeah, it has definitely taken a better stance this year, right? It's been tough. I mean, we've chatted to a lot of entrepreneurs, and it really has. It's been, a lot of people. It's been a really, really tough one. So glad to know that you are good, and glad to know that you are optimistic, and that's all we can be, right?
Absolutely.
Good. Zeeks, I know you have plenty of questions, so I'm going to
give it. I'm getting my time, just waiting to ask her.
So Nevi, I'm going to give it over to you.
Thank you. Nevi, I would love to get a brief overview of who you are as a person. I know that you are involved in a number of things. You dabble in quite a few things. Can you just tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, sure. Well, the list may seem long. It's not really long. I'm an entrepreneur, a business owner. I manage a marketing and events agency. I'm an author. I have a passion for food and interior designing. Yeah, and at the bottom of it all, I have this deep-seated hunger to empower others through teaching them about how to harness their own strengths to flourish and grow personally and professionally.
Nevi, you are carrying a whole lot of skills that I wish I had some of those. So I may actually talk to you afterwards and be like, share a few of those bits with me. But you mentioned that you are also an author. I'm really interested in the fact that you wrote a book called Mind Your Own Business. Am I correct?
Correct.
Please tell us a little bit about that. Just the process and what the feedback has been from the people who have read your book, because I am definitely going to be getting it afterwards. And I just want to kind of be ready for what might be in there.
Yeah, I mean, really what motivated me to write the book was the whole COVID-19 pandemic. That lockdown brought with it unanticipated twists and turns. We went from working 6 to 7 days a week to a complete halt. I'm generally occupied with some project, and idleness is foreign to me. So this whole experience of being at home for such a long time disturbed me. During the second month of lockdown, I realized that the president wasn't giving us a long holiday. There was too much of uncertainty around, and I decided I had the time to pursue a fascination and a dream of mine. I embarked on a writing mentorship, and my unplanned available time was directed to author a business book. I started writing about the secrets that I unlocked through the School of Hard Knocks and those that business school did not teach me in the form of 12 lessons. And the feedback from readers have been overwhelmingly positive. I'm really, really humbled that I could encourage and impact so many people.
I love that. You mentioned the 12 secrets that you unlocked, if I'm not mistaken. Can you just share one of those secrets that you just managed to unlock and share in the book, if it's possible?
Or 5. No,
we don't have that time.
We don't have time. 1 is fine. Zeke's right. Can you please tell us 1?
I think the one would be investing in your own personal development. I think that's shortchanged a lot. People get straight into careers, or they get straight out of school and then to university possibly, and they dive into a job. And along the way, that journey of your personal development is not nurtured enough. And especially if you're becoming an entrepreneur, or if that's what's your mind goal, or even as a professional in the working world, it's really, really should be on the top of your priority list.
Yeah, I mean, because let's be honest, we lose ourselves in this journey, hey? And then people wonder why, oh my goodness, why I've reached this goal, but I'm still so depressed. Or I'm looking for another goal, because we're all after this short-term gratification. Whereas if you work on that personal development, you get that long-lasting inner happiness. So yeah, thank you for that.
I love that. I love that. I think investing in yourself also does wonders for you personally and as a brand, especially if you are all about empowering yourself and the people around you and just trying to make it in the entrepreneurial world as well. So I think that's a great point.
Yeah, Ziki, it really, really is, because I think that investing in yourself personally becomes goes on the back burner, because we're so focused on getting ourselves out there, building a good reputation, working hard, and we don't realize the impact it has to your growth going forward. Because like Rebecca says, you have this unfulfillment, and you get to a goal and you're still not complete, and then you chase something else, or you leave for another position. But you've got to start somewhere investing in your own personal development, because that is legitimate growth. You know, that is something for myself personally I could reflect on a week, a month, a year later. It's the stuff that money can't buy, you know, and no one could give me. When you have to earn something, it becomes valuable, and it builds so much more, like your self-confidence, your self-worth, you know, your knowledge base. And yeah, I think that, you know, it really connects somehow with my own personal values, personally and professionally.
Absolutely. I completely agree when it comes to the self-confidence part, because it does build your self-confidence, knowing that you've invested in yourself and you're trying to, I guess, build yourself up. I love that. I love that. So just jumping straight into, earlier on, you mentioned a number of things that you're doing. And one of them that I heard was your agency that you have. Just a quick introduction into it, and then I'm going to ask you a few questions about what it does and where it's involved currently. So if you can just tell us a little bit about your agency.
Okay. And the agency is called Velocity Vision. And basically, we're an agency in the marketing and eventing arena, predominantly in pharmaceutical and medical. So for us, we stick with that industry. It's what I know. I've spent about 13 odd years in the pharmaceutical industry from a corporate perspective, and I loved what I did. I just wanted to do it on my own terms, and I wanted to be able to impact others through that process. And yeah, so we manage regional and national events for the medical industry. And yeah, we absolutely love it. We do everything from your initial concept to your post-event surveys and stuff like that. So yeah, we absolutely love it. I think more especially because there's different aspects to it. We don't do the same thing every day. We have a team of highly skilled individuals that all form part of this process and success. And yeah, I think one of the reasons talking about the book was something that I learned. Business school is great, and they taught me a lot of stuff theoretically, but having put them into practice for me was a really big deal, because you've got to make the mistakes, you've got to fall, you've got to learn from it, you've got to move forward. And yeah, we have so many aspects and elements of the business that is different every day, from exhibition to dealing with international speakers. And yeah, it's amazing.
Great. So as you know, and we've had chats before regarding the industry that you're in and the industry that I'm in, I'm very passionate about, helping low-income communities. And for me, it's just more on the axis of life-saving medicines. And you also just mentioned now that you've had a number of exhibitions, events, and I'm really interested in the events that you held that were exciting, or rather successful, for you as an agency, that you saw from the beginning right till the end and were involved throughout, and just saw them actually yielding great results for your agency and for the people involved?
Yeah, so, being in a specific industry like the medical industry, it comes with a whole level of compliance and protocols and things like that. And because I'm really au fait with it, it becomes a simpler process for me in terms of managing this. But I think from my side, it's the whole extending and enhancing the footprint of medical education in South Africa and beyond. That for me is a success on its own, that we're part of this process where we educate and empower our local practitioners in healthcare about giving and offering a better service to those in need.
Love that. Because sometimes it's not always just about going to the hospital and getting the medicine and just being, the usual route that comes with offering medicine. Sometimes it's also just having a holistic approach to it. So I love that. Yeah. Rebecca, I've been talking a lot here. I feel like you want to jump in or have anything to say or ask.
There is nothing I have to say. I am listening with all ears, and it's very, very interesting. So I'm in my own little world here, just listening to you ladies speak about your own expertise. I mean, this is your thing, Ziki. So I'm not interfering. It's just very, very interesting to hear. And I'm so happy there are game changers like yourself out there doing such wonderful work. So I just have to say thank you for that. The world needs us. The world needs you. The world needs people like us and you. Beautiful, beautiful. Zeeks,
well,
I know that. I know that you also were interested to hear more. I know that you were telling me you were stalking Nevi's Instagram the other day.
This is true. Yes.
Why?
I happen to let Rebecca know that I do occasionally go on your Instagram, Nevi, mainly because you've got these delicious foods that I see, desserts. And obviously, this is where I discovered as well that you've also been on this competitive show for cooking. I would love to know more about this. Why the food aspect, and how does that fit into the whole Nevi Letcher brand?
And how did Nevi do on the show? I've got lots of questions for you.
Okay. I think that stems from two things. I'm really attracted to, number one, a challenge, and number two, creativity. I love the kitchen. I'm really inspired in what can be conjured up there. You put a few ingredients on a tabletop, and in a few minutes or a few hours, it can be transformed really to a magical creation. I'm a creative at heart, and I love seeing something being formed, something that is ultimately enjoyed and appreciated. And if I think back, food has definitely been at the heart of some of my most happiest and cherished moments. And my personal brand is stimulated and influenced by these choices and creativity. You know, I love transforming a space into something that people can enjoy and appreciate. Yeah, so we did. My husband and I were selected to be on My Kitchen Rules South Africa, which
Well
was the
done.
that alone was a daunting process, I have to tell you. We had just come through a COVID spell, and on our last few days of quarantine, we got this call, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're really honored, but we actually have COVID. And you know, with lockdown and everything, it was the first year that they had to do it a different way, but they were willing to wait for us. And you know, our last day of quarantine, the following day we packed up and we left, and it was a very, very beautiful experience. We were away for about 5.5 weeks in total, shooting, doing everything. And yeah, it's amazing. Craig and I love cooking together, but doing it on a show was a different experience. Yeah, I almost killed him a few
Surprised
times.
you didn't. I mean, it's hard enough living with your man, and now you need to cook with him on a show.
Yeah, he's amazing though. He's amazing. He
No.
has food experience and background. So yeah, he's the one that kept me together most of the time. Yeah, it was an amazing experience. We got to meet some incredible people, and that we're still in contact with, which is really, really amazing. And just the whole experience of doing something outside of my comfort zone.
I was going to say also it's a great outlet for you as well, right? I mean, to bring that creativity, and that's why I always you know, I'm motivate people to kind of find your passion as well. You know, don't get lost in your business too much. Also find your passion and keep those things that you really enjoy. Just have that little outlet. It's important to keep us going. You know,
it's really, really important. You know, all work and no play, as they say. You've got to have something that you look forward to outside of your normal operational day. And yeah, you know, yeah, I think it's if anyone can conjure up a meal in the house, they should give it a go. There's lots of South African
you're a woman of many talents. I don't know if giving does a sandwich count?
Yes, it could. A gourmet sandwich.
A Nevi sandwich. Well, thanks for that, Neves. Yeah, I remember the call. I called you and I said, oh my goodness, you're a semi-finalist. And you went, oh, I've just been selected on My Kitchen. And I thought, oh my goodness. But it was so awesome because it actually ran together and it just worked out. And I was just so excited. So I was like, really there from the beginning, rooting for you, and obviously caught a couple of episodes as well. So beautiful. Thank you and well done for that.
Thank you.
And then I want to know, you're a woman of many talents. I know that you're also a motivational speaker, and as a motivational speaker myself and as a transformational life coach, I always love hearing from other coaches and speakers out there. And if I had to ask you, what would be your number one advice or most important advice for entrepreneurs out there like ourselves, you know, hogging it every day and doing our thing? What is the most important advice you could give them as a motivational speaker?
That's a tough one. There's lots. Let me think. If I have to single one out, it would be to practice resilience. It's tough as an entrepreneur. It's really tough. People look at you and go, oh, of course you did that.
Yeah.
Of course, that's you. But nobody sees what goes on behind the scenes, the toil, the daily grind, the no's, the rejection, the losses, the personnel issues. Yeah, no one sees all of that. So remain resilient and don't lose sight of your dream.
I love that. I really love that. I think we've spoken about that before, hey Ziki.
Yeah,
that we've chatted about it in another interview, that somebody's come along and said, oh, you know, people look at other people who have success and they feel like, wow, how come they got an overnight success? And look at me. But it wasn't that overnight success. It was that fight behind the fight to get to that overnight success. So that's what you're saying,
It's an absolutely true thing. When we entered this industry, so I went from, a very comfortable position in corporate and decided that I'm letting it go. No one could understand why. I didn't understand why. So you can imagine how it was for other people. And in a short few months, we became a contender to be reckoned with in the industry. And people saw this, but what they didn't see is what had to happen behind the scenes and how many years of me nurturing this dream to get there. But once I had made the decision, I had made the decision, yeah. So it's just remain resilient, stay true to what you believe in, follow that dream. You're never going to know until you give it your best shot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Here to that, Hazy.
Yeah, love it. I'm just listening to you talking about nurture that dream and let it be something that you consistently keep working on. So I'm definitely listening to that as well, because I have my moments and there are times when I falter a little bit. But again, at the end of the day, it's all about keeping on and actually doing what you need to do to get to your dream. So
absolutely. And I think even at the top, Zeeks, we all have our moments. So thank you for being authentic about that. I think it doesn't matter where you are. Everybody as an entrepreneur has their moments.
Absolutely. I have lots of them. I have a go-to letter that I wrote to myself a few years ago. And when I have those moments, I read it. And the inspiration just flows. We need reminders, it's not all butterflies and flowers every day. It's tough. And when you get a challenging situation or a rejection or a no, it's so easy to crumble under what someone else sees you as or sees your offering as. You've got to have something to go to. I have a letter.
And you also have,
love that.
I'm so sorry. No, I was going to say, and you have those moments where, as you said, within a few short months, you were a contender within the industry. Just a reminder of how sometimes it can work out. So yeah, that's lovely to hear.
And sometimes when it doesn't work out, it's okay too.
Yeah.
It's okay too, because I've learned so much through that process of when things didn't go according to how I planned. I'm a planner. So you can imagine how if something doesn't go according to my plan, my whole life gets
shattered,
upside down, and you can't help but feel and look for the answer, like what did I do wrong and where could I have done better. And it's okay. It's through those processes that I learned to become a better leader and a better business owner.
And it builds us strong, and it builds us stronger. It builds us stronger. We have to go through those things to actually we can't sit here and say we're strong women if we haven't been through a whole lot of mess. Our mess is our message sometimes.
Yes.
So beautiful. Well, that's all the questions from me. Zeeks, do you have any other questions?
No, I'm actually, thank you so much, Nevi, for joining us.
Thank you, Nevi.
Learned so much from you and just listening to you talk about what you've done and how far you've come. It's been a pleasure just chatting to you, and even before chatting, getting to know you before as well. So thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Nevi. Thank you for joining us.
Rebecca.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. I can't wait to chat alongside the new semi-finalist this year and yourself being an ambassador. And it just felt good to see you again, and we really appreciate your time. So thank you so much, and we acknowledge you in your full glory of Nevi.
I was so excited to be here, and always here at your disposal to help with anything. And yeah, we're excited about the new contestants and how all of that is going to pan out, because we have such brilliant women in South Africa.
You really do. Thank you, Nevi. Thanks, Ziki. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Next week. Bye, everybody. Bye.